Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. Welcome, everyone. We're going to be looking at the astrology of uh, the end of December from today, the 22nd of December, until the 31st. Of course, we are in a 12 vibration month. The 12-3 is the Hanged Man, and Hangman is all about really looking at something from a different perspective, um, and accepting what you can't change and changing what you can change, and the wisdom to know the difference. And so that's the vibe of the month. Of course, the universal year vibration. This is the last month of that. That's an 8 vibration. As you sow, so shall you reap. It is the strength card in the tarot, and so we've needed a lot of strength this year. We've built a lot of strength this year through that process. It's also located in the throat chakra, and so many of us have found our voice this year, and that's a good thing. Um, and then when you add those two vibrations together, we get a 20. The 20 over 2 is the this card and the tarot deck. The judgment, inevitable, awakened soul vibration. We are waking up, guys. For those of us who feel somewhat awake, other people are waking up too. And I think it's not going to be as difficult as it's been to be a person who has seen and known and sometimes spoken about things that people just didn't believe. Or didn't see or couldn't imagine. So, all right, let's get into it, right? So, before I do that, welcome to my new subscribers. I got a whole bunch. Thank you very much. Many of you came in from me doing a show with Susan Lynn about 2025. So that was fun. She's a wonderful human being and great to work with. And to my tried and true, have been with me for years. We've walked this path together, really, and I really appreciate you guys. I will be starting a membership, and I think, and it's going to happen in January. It'll be a nominal fee. It won't be a lot. It'll just help support my work. So just you can keep your eyes peeled for that if you like. And yeah, I'm going to start small, and then if there is a need or a want for the channel, the membership to grow, I am certainly open to that. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Okay, so I think that's it. There's a lot to cover, so I probably should stop right now talking about me, and let's take a look at what we are facing. Now, this is a very um, interesting time to be alive, blessed we say. And and we have to keep in mind that we chose to be here. So we had nobody to blame but ourselves. Oh my goodness. All right. So we're in week 4 to week 5. Sunday, that's today actually. I'm sorry I'm late. We have last quarter moon. The moon at 2 degrees of Libra, the sun, of course, at 2 degrees of Capricorn. The sun moved into Capricorn just yesterday. The winter solstice here in the northern hemisphere and the southern. In the southern hemisphere, oh, summer is there. So you guys are all wearing your tank tops and the like, and we're up here wrapping ourselves in blankets. It's like 10 outside. Sorry. Woo! Yeah, it started yesterday. Whoop, first day winter. Let's bloop. Let's make it 12. Oh, that's not cold enough. Let's make it 10. All right. I know it's not just me. I know there are places much worse. I do understand that. Okay. Um, so we have a last quarter moon. This is a crisis in belief on the seeds planted at the Sagittarius new moon. The golden was what's the symbol? The golden haired goddess of opportunity, I think, is the symbol. And it comes down to finding our own definition of what success is, perhaps turning our backs on what success has, traditionally been. Um, and so we're really kind of finding out what makes us happy, honestly. So that was the new moon right on the first, and so now we're at the 3/4 point of the lunation. We'll look at the charts. It'll be one of the slides. I'll get into it a little bit more. Um, on Monday, the sun actually squares the nose of the moon. It's called the sun being at the bends, I believe. I don't know that. I'm still learning about that uh, more astronomical stuff. So that's pretty cool. But I do know that the sun illuminates, and I do know that the nodes of the moon are um, our path, the path of our evolution. If we want to evolve, you're being asked to go in this direction, and so it's illuminating in a way the evolutionary path, and we'll look at that as well. We have Venus making a waning sextile to Chiron. Sextiles are always about interaction, mental stimulation, communication, and so it's natural. It's a natural time of teaching. So it's a really, really good energy for teaching this week, communicating what we know and love in service to humanity, in service to humanity. Helping each other understand where we're at, why we're here, how we can how we can get how we can get where we want to go. I think that's what I want to say. All right. This is in healing the way you value yourself, in healing the way you value yourself, healing the divine masculine through the divine feminine, and healing the divine feminine through the divine masculine. The higher vibrations of those energies, and the need for communication and the need for healing. Tuesday the 24th, that is oh, hold on, I'm getting buzzed. Oh shit, hold on. Hi, what?
You hungry?
Yes.
Want to do the tie?
Yes.
All right, come up in a few then.
I'm in the middle of a video. Can I let you know when I'm coming up?
Perfect.
All right. Okay. Am I recording now? I believe so. Okay. Okay. So, sorry about that. I just wanted to make sure I was back recording. For some reason, I couldn't see the little thing that tells you. All right. So Christmas Eve, big deal, big deal, big deal. We have a square between Jupiter and Saturn. This is the second of 3 Jupiter Saturn squares. These are crisis and action squares. And it goes back to the conjunction of these two planets at the end of 2020 in 1 degree of Aquarius. This is that crisis, the seed planted, like lasting values, bringing like this idea of the Aquarian ideals, right, into manifestation to create society around that. Those two planets are the societal planets. And so we're at a crisis point where we have to build a foundation, and it requires action. It requires action. And so we are taking an action to help to build what uh, at least the initial idea or the initial impulse of that conjunction. So Wednesday the 25th, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Probably, I'm sorry, I don't know the Islamic celebration. All the celebrations are coming together this year, which is very significant, I think. But on the 25th, we have a Sun in conjunct Mars. Knowing how and when to assert yourself is difficult under these influences. Yeah, there's it's like there's a blind spot, and there's, actions have unintended consequence. It's a difficult energy to work with, I think. And of course, Neptune, Mars is also retrograde, which, doesn't bode well for that martial energy, I would say. So Thursday, the 26th, we have Mercury making opposition to Jupiter. This is actually the last of 3 exact oppositions in 2024. The reason that there are 3 is because it occurred around a Mercury retrograde cycle. And so we have these 3 oppositions. Three awarenesses, really. And Mercury and Jupiter deals with how our mind works, the expansion of our mind. And so these oppositions bring a lot of awareness. And we also, talking about these oppositions, we also had a full moon in this as well. So this axis is on fire, really, quite frankly, really, really active. And Jupiter is on this axis now, the Sag Gemini axis. All about, facts, what we see, what we believe, maybe having to, seeing is believing kind of thing. But we'll look at that. Friday the 27th, Mercury makes a last quarter square to Saturn. This is also the last of 3 exact last quarter squares. These are reality checks, guys, reality checks. The 28th of December, Venus makes a last quarter square to Uranus. Venus is in Aquarius, Uranus is in Taurus. That means they're in mutual reception to each other. So usually squares are surprising and come out of nowhere, but because of the mutual reception, I think there's a little bit more energy around, if you've really wanted a change is coming. Hopefully you directed that, instead of just, wanting it to all burn down, like you direct your consciousness in a particular direction, you have a better chance of getting there. Sunday the 29th, we have Chiron station direct at 19 of Aries. Monday the 30th, the new moon at 10 degrees of Capricorn, powerful new moon. An albatross feeding from the hand of a sailor. I wonder what that means. We'll talk about it. And then we have Mercury at the last day of the year, Mercury trining Chiron. That's a flow of communication and healing. So healing words, perhaps. I think this is going to be a big crisis year, week. So, but I think maybe at the end, of the year, there'll be some sort of healing words being said or spoken. All right, let's get into it. All right. I'll try not to keep you too long. All right, now, Sunday, here is the last quarter moon. The sun at 2 of Capricorn, the moon at 2 of Libra. This is a crisis in belief on the seeds planted at that Sagittarius new moon on the 1st. Finding your own definition of success. Last week we had the opposition in the full moon, right? The full moon, the harvest of the seeds planted at that new moon, where we had the moon in 24 of Gemini, refusing to be defeated, children skating on ice. It's about putting yourself in a dangerous situation to succeed or to be right, perhaps. Opposing the sun at 24 of Sag, a bluebird perched on the gate of a cottage, peace and happiness. So I feel like there's those two that opposition really brought out people's ambition, beyond at the cost of serenity and peace, which I think people want to be. They want serenity and peace. Now the moon is at 2, the 2 of Libra, a centered sense of self as a creative power. So we create our lives. We are the creative hand, as it were. In a crisis in belief square to the sun at 2 of Capricorn, 3 stained glass windows, 1 damaged by a bombardment, the threat of destruction. Beauty is one of the first casualties of war, experiencing destruction and entropy with awareness. So, we have a great power, and if we need to use it mindfully. And wouldn't it be wonderful to use it for creating goodness? Monday, the 23rd, here's the sun squaring the nodes. The sun here this is a Washington, D.C. Chart, so sorry about that, guys. But we do have Neptune on the north node here. We do have the moon on the south node. This could also be illuminating some deceptions, and maybe really seeing who your friends are kind of energy here. But it says the 3 of the Capricorn, 3 degrees of Capricorn, yearning for real experience. Knowledge without experience is dry and theoretical. The soul is passionate and wants to know truth. Evolution of soul consciousness through challenging experiences. That is what we are undergoing right now. We're being challenged, so that we can the things that are hard to do generally are the most satisfying when they work out, right? So that's that's the sun and it's square the node. So we look at both nodes, the north node in 3 of Aries, awakening to a higher level, the awesome power of life itself as we identify the most spiritual dimension of being, seeing oneself in the context of being with others, awakening to a higher level, understanding our connectedness and the power in that connectedness. We are amazingly powerful, and it's easy There's a clown show going on that wants to distract us. And we need to keep in front of mind, North Node, the higher level, the greater potential of man and womankind, the greater potential. And the South Node at 3 of Libra, the dawn of a new day reveals everything has changed. Reformulation of eternal energy. Every breath is another beginning and yet another unique expression of life. Every moment is unique and profound. And so this is about being alive in your life, being alive in your life, participating in your life. Monday, the 23rd, Venus waning sextile to Chiron. Says this time may bring opportunities for deep emotional healing within your relationships. You may find yourself attracting or gravitating towards people who can help you heal old wounds or provide you with a safe space to express your vulnerabilities. It is a time to seek harmony and connection in your interactions, allowing yourself to be seen and accepted for who you truly are. Who you truly are. This cycle which we are gleaning the wisdom of and sharing it with others to bring more understanding and progressive solutions to our problems. The initial impulse occurred on the 21st of April. It was a 33-6 vibration day. That is a master number, master of spiritual compassion. At 21 degrees of Aries, a pugilist enters the ring. The thing is, this is the exact same Sabian symbol that the United States has, and we're in the midst of our Chiron return here. We have one more hit of the Chiron return. I believe it's in April. The Aries month, as it were. But let's see what it says. It says, the will to power is glorified as the primordial struggle for survival of the fittest. An eagerness, oops, so sorry. When I don't want it to do that, it like, when I'm trying to get it to do it, it doesn't, I can't find it. Okay, so the will to power is glorified as the primal struggle for survival of the fittest, an eagerness for fame and fortune. Yet the ring with the two fingers can also be seen as the Tai Chi symbol in the interplay between yang and yin. Each one of these two types of energy wins in turn. Victory is always temporary in a dualistic world. That is from a website, jamesburgess.com. Great website. Check it out. All right. So here's the sextile right here. If you happen to have anything at around 19-20 degrees of Virgo in your chart, this is creating a yod to that planet, asking for a healing, a healing. You are worthy. You are worthy, Virgo. All right. Okay, so this is the Jupiter Saturn square. It is part of a 20-year Jupiter Saturn synod that began back on the 21st of December 2020, which was the equinox, which was the solstice, the winter solstice or summer solstice, depending on where you live. At one of Aquarius, an old Adobe mission in California, lasting values, putting our energy where it counts in things that are going to last, right? This is the second of 3 exact first quarter squares. The first one occurred on the 19th of August, 2024 at 18 of Gemini Pisces. Does that date ring a bell? Yeah, well, it was the first day of the DNC, and we had a full moon in Aquarius squared by Uranus, and that full moon was conjunct the United States Sibley moon, so it was very it was an incredible time of I don't know, it's just exciting and scary. We're on the roller coaster, we were. Yep. Um, the last one occurs 6/15 of 2025 at 2 of Cancer and Aries. So these squares take about a year, um, or is it 6 months? Let's see. The first one occurred in, yeah. So yeah, a little less for the three of these to happen. Um, it's occurring with Jupiter at 15 of Gemini, two Dutch children talking, validation, it says. Received messages are not free from bias of subjective interpretation, so we should get confirmation if we can. Confirmation and validation. It's like don't take anything at face value. Don't assume. Don't assume anything. Assume nothing, I guess we could say about that symbol. And Saturn in Pisces, an officer preparing to drill his men. Now, this is really interesting. This is also from James Burgess. It says, before being able to close any cycle in life fully, there must be an evaluation of what has occurred, a balancing of accounts, and the facing of karma. When this is externalized into life events, we must expect to encounter some significant danger, a danger that has so far been perpetually and forever avoided. By anticipating this, we can make careful arrangements, planning and equipping ourselves as best we can for the certainty of immense challenge. It is better to take instruction and focus very clearly before we encounter our nemesis. So, this is really speaking of being really mindful and not assuming anything. Until you have the facts, do not assume anything. That's really what this is saying to me. And the interesting thing about it is the vibration of the day is a 44-8, which on the Tree of Life is found in the Sephiroth Hesed. It's the Four of Cups in the tarot. So there's a certain divine discontent with this energy. But you see the woman is being offered another cup, but she's not looking up. So remember to look up to the heavens. Jupiter is the planet associated with Hesed, and of course, this is Jupiter. Jupiter's part of the program here. And if you notice over here, we have Mercury. Mercury is now direct and will come in create a. It is already a T square, but it's going to get stronger over the next day or so. Okay. Tuesday, December. Yeah, this is the one that's a little, um, what's the word I'm looking for? This is the one that's a little, like I'm a little nervous about if there's a nervous aspect. Because we're dealing with the Mars and the Sun, and you want to know where if you're going to aim to get something, you really should make sure of your aim. And this is where your aim can be off. So, or somebody's aim can be off. So just, and Mars is retrograde, there can be frustration, and the like. So, I just heard, or I just flipped through some, headlines before I got on this video, and it said that, in the headline anyway, it said that, um, Putin's uh, army is not taking his orders or something. Or that's what it was said. That's what it said. Like they're refusing to take his orders. So, um, it's interesting. That's the kind of energy, right? There's an intention, but something. So it's gonna be interesting for sure. Um, with Sun in conjunct Mars, knowing how and when to assert yourself is difficult under this influence. A moving target is harder to hit, and so you stay in motion with seemingly dynamic energy. But this constant momentum can scatter your focus, leaving you feeling unfulfilled and directionless. If your actions are merely reactions to something you are trying to escape, then that external force is still controlling you. Reflect on what you are truly running from and ask yourself, what would it look like to move towards something instead? What would it look like to move towards something instead? Which is really what, what I've been preaching for a while now is, focus on um, focus on what you want to create. That's from Astromatrix, by the way, another great website. And the cards that I often use are the Astromatrix cards. Not an advertisement at all, but just I love the cards and it's a great website. Great website. Sun is at 4 of Capricorn. Major stimulus, collective changes of life. Uprooting as a family or tribe demands a very high degree of group consciousness and belief in shared values. Group responsiveness to collective emergency. There is a collective emergency happening, and we're all going to have to take action in the direction of what we want to see happen. So that's where the sun is at. And then it's in conjunct Mars. And Mars is a 4 of Leo, proving oneself, demonstrating achievements and abilities, has spiritual merit despite the high risk of becoming prideful, finding a way to make relevant our small achievements. It could be that somebody tries to prove themselves and it's not a good thing, or it could be just us proving that, we're up to the task at hand. We're up to the task at hand. It's uh it's a time when we're being called up. We're being called up. The soul's calling us up. Okay, let's okay, sorry. All right, so I know this is a lot. I got a little what is that OCD on this stuff? But on Thursday, December 26th, Mercury opposes Jupiter at 14 of Sag Gemini. This is the last of 3 exact oppositions. This is the first one up here. This is the second one, and this is the one I'm talking about for today. The first one happened on November 18th at 19 of Sag Gemini. The second one on December 4th at 17 Sag Gemini. That one was interesting because both planets are in their detriment, but they were retrograde, so they were pointing at each other anyway. And now this third one, this right here on the 26th at 14, Sag Gemini. Of course, Mercury's in Sag and Jupiter's in Gemini. So all of these are mutual reception kind of things. Mutual receptions make it easier for us to get along. So let's take advantage of this. This synod began at the Mercury-Jupiter conjunction that occurred on the 4th of June. That was an 18-9 day. That's a moon day, lunacy, perhaps. At 3 of Gemini, the Garden of the Tuileries in Paris, crystallization, bringing to bear the rational mind to explain the mysteries, solidifies experience into a foundation of knowledge. Understanding hierarchy and privilege. And this is now, we're at the point of awareness of this cycle with Mercury at 14 of Sag, the pyramid and the Sphinx. Old knowledge. Truth and wisdom are never entirely forgotten, but hide in symbols and memories, waiting to be revisited when their time returns, reclaiming old teachings that pass the test of time. That's what we're all doing, by the way, guys. Opposing Jupiter at 14 of Gemini, a conversation by telepathy, transcendent connection at higher levels of consciousness. Not ordinary techniques can be assessed at will. Exceptional connectedness and rapport. So the fact that this is a point of awareness of this cycle, and it is the third of three of these, I really feel like there's a lot of old knowledge uh, we're getting plugged in big time. People are getting plugged in big time. We're not going to be the same people that we were even yesterday, because every day we're growing in power, and it's the power of intention and attention. And we need to attend to ourselves first and grow from there. All right. I know, I'm making your eyes cross. I understand. On the 27th of December, this is a 4711 day, which is significant because if old 45 becomes new 47, mine's 47. Sorry. Um, uh, this is the vibration. It's this vibration. It's smoke and mirrors, right? It's over here. Where are we? 7. Here we go. This vibration. This is Elon Musk's shadow vibration. Delusion. And it has to do with the people that he relates to, which could be very well be old 45, new 47, maybe. So we have a last quarter square, last of 3. First occurred on 11/12/24, second on 12/6. That was the same day that Mars went retrograde. That was a powerful day. And the third one happens on the 27th, as I said. This particular synod began the Mercury Saturn one at the conjunction on the 28th of February at 10 of Pisces, an aviator in the clouds, attaining the highest level of responsibility that you can imagine. This is utilizing your intuition. An aviator flying through the clouds has to, if he wants to land it, he has to focus on his instruments. He has to have fine-tuned instruments. And as people, our fine-tuned instruments are intuition, our psychic ability, our ability to see patterns, our inquisitive minds looking for connections, looking for answers, looking to find our way out of the dark. And that's what we're all doing. We're finding our way out of the dark right now. The last square here, Mercury at 15 of Sag, a groundhog looking for his shadows, taking precautions, distinguishing from what may be from what must be. Okay? What must happen here? Crisis in belief, square to Saturn at 15 of Pisces, officers preparing to drill his men, rehearsing how to use power, disciplined preparation to develop group consciousness. Group consciousness. This really is, to me, is giving us a that we need to be discerning in what we get ourselves involved in to a certain extent. And but whatever it is, it has to be there needs to be a strong sense of common purpose. Common purpose. I think that's what this is saying. And here we have the square. This is a Washington, D.C. So we have Saturn in the 5th house, and Mercury in the 2nd. this could be oppression of the youth, what the youth have to say, or something like that. But the youth are standing on their principles. So we'll see how that manifests itself. Okay. I'm sorry I'm keeping you guys too long. We're almost done. Venus, last quarter square to Uranus. I have one of these in my chart. I actually have Venus square Uranus in my chart. Can be freeing of your need for social acceptance and opportunity to be your authentic self and the surprises that that can bring. Let me tell you, been some. This began at the Venus-Uranus conjunction on the 18th of May at 24 degrees of Taurus, an Indian warrior riding fiercely, human scalps hanging from his belt, channeled aggression. And that's about channeled aggression because you feel like you're being threatened. Now Venus has moved from Uranus, but it's and Uranus actually is at the same degree. So that symbol applies. And Venus is now 270 degrees away from that at 24 degrees of Aquarius, sharing our experiences to teach others. It is the implied duty of those who know to instruct those who do not know, learning by teaching others, learning by teaching others. So this is about shining your light, guys, sharing your wisdom, sharing your wisdom. This vibration is often associated with writing, poetry, creativity. It's a beautiful writing vibration, very creative energy. But it is also about walking away from things that don't fulfill your soul. Um, and you know, we're dealing with Venus, so it has to be, you have to be passionate. There has to be, you have to feel valued in order to stay. All right, and I think this is the last slide, so thank you for your patience. Monday, this the 30th, we have a new moon in Capricorn. This is a really powerful moon. It says an albatross feeding from the hand of a sailor, radiating peaceful harmony. If we purify the heart, then we radiate love to all beings and trust in the certainty of serenity and joy, radiating peaceful harmony. Capricorn is the boss. They give you the marching orders. And Capricorn is giving us some marching orders, right? Radiating peaceful harmony. Purify the heart, heal the heart, heal the wounds, say you're sorry, forgive the unforgivable. Release yourself, release yourself, release yourself into peaceful harmony. Don't allow anybody to kill your buzz, your joy buzz. Uh, this there's a powerful mystic rectangle in this excuse me, in this chart. And these people who have these can create like whole worlds, thin worlds. And some can actually live there without the interference of others, but this one isn't quite like that. But the new moon has, I think, one aspect besides the sun and moon aspecting each other. There may be two here, but it looks like we have a sesquiquadrate to Uranus. And this sesquiquadrate is one in which somebody who wants to take power, wants to be an influence in the world, is somehow made to change and understand that if they have a humbling experience and understand if they want to join society, that there are certain societal rules that they have to go by, and you know, kind of to fit in. It's not all about you and what you offer, kind of energy. So there's that, and it can be a humbling experience, but it's sudden. It's unexpected, perhaps, and it may be a leader, or it may be something. It is a good time to start a project, to plant the seed for a project, because Capricorn is entrepreneurial. Um, but it's not maybe the most stable. So to actually start it, I might want to wait. But to start the process, the thinking process, the imagining process, this would be the time to do that. And when the time is right, and things are easier to move around, and things are actually easier to see, you should be able to put those projects in action. Okay, guys. All right, so I think that's it. Let me just make sure I'm not I'm not lying to myself and making myself a liar. What's my mother used to say that? Don't make yourself a liar. Nope, that's it. That's how the planets sit as we leave the month. All right. So hopefully you find that interesting. I certainly do. Like my hobby. I love doing this stuff. All right, guys, have yourself a great week. I'll be on Mystic Sisters. Uh, I I found out we can um you can go on either channel to see it. I don't know. I'm just learning this stuff. But anyway, it's going to be on Ona's channel right next month. I mean next week on Saturday. So Saturday is the 28th. So we're Mystic Sister Saturday the 28th on Ona's channel. I'll see you every morning, or you'll see me every morning, or you'll see something every morning from me. And maybe a couple card readings. Oh, I'm been invited to go on to Jen Lin Tarot. She's doing the Central Kitchen thing again. And hopefully, like she's starting at 11, like Eastern, and I'm usually in bed by then. So I'm gonna try to stay up and get on and say hello to everybody. And I love those guys. They're great. I might have to take an afternoon nap or something in order to do this, but I'll figure it out. All right, guys, I'll see you again soon. Much love. You know how much I love you. Thank you for going on this journey with me. And I want to do my membership, if you can. If you can't, I understand. You're still going to get plenty of information from me. Take care, everyone. Namaste.